Hunter Merwald and Ken Johnson. We made our own smoker from scratch, and it's a rotisserie, and it really works good. And we've been entering in the last 5 years, not too much, but the last couple of years we've been entering more contests, and we enjoy it, and we enjoy smoking, and we do a lot of smoking even when there's no contests around.
I'm Matt with Fat Jack's Barbecue in Lincoln, Nebraska. Today we're at Valley, Nebraska for the, I believe, second annual Valley Veterans Barbecue Contest. This will be my third cook of the year. Not doing very many this year. We got a restaurant in Lincoln that's newer restaurant in Lincoln that's busy. We've been at the restaurant now for I think 4.5 years. So we're kind of cut back on competition. So we started competing back in 2007 in Kansas City. We lived in Olathe, Kansas. Originally from Lincoln. Cooked there a couple years. Moved back to Lincoln. Opened a little restaurant where we've been going out. We just opened a newer one at 11th and Cornhusker down by the university. It's going good. Looking at possibly opening a second one. Not going to cook too many this year. I think after this, we're headed off to Bellevue. So we'll be in Bellevue, then we'll cook the Royal and hopefully get the Jack Draw for the year. I got started cooking barbecue in Kansas City. Our neighbor was a small competitive team. He kind of got us started, got us moving, and kind of got hooked after that. I love competing. It's a camaraderie of everybody getting along. Everybody, you forget something, your neighbor will loan it to you.
Hi, my name's Scott Burke. I'm from Valley, Nebraska, and we're competing in the Valley, Nebraska Legion Valley competition here. It's a second-year competition. I got started in barbecue competing in 2004. I backyarded it for quite a few years with a buddy. We'd cook, and I'd tell him to come over my place. I got some good ribs. He'd tell me his is better. And then in 2004, we decided we'd join, the barbecue circuit. So we jumped in, and we've loved it ever since. It's community's real tight-knit, but they're real open to new people. That's what kind of drew me to it. Everybody becomes family or friends, and it's just a good, fun time, So I'd say I've been doing about 20 years. We've been competing about 8 to 10 probably. And then in 2010, I ended up opening up my own restaurant. We're in Gretna, Nebraska. And so now I guess I'm a full-time barbecue pitmaster, and we enjoy it. We don't get to do too many comps like we used to because of the store, but we do get out, and it's just like a family reunion every time. So, but we enjoy it. We enjoy it.
Hi, my name's Scott Mann. I'm with Sherwood 3 Barbecue Team. Along with Russ Newman and Rod Whitman. We've known each other since we were kids, decided to get into this about 5 years ago because we all love to barbecue. We only do a couple of competitions a year, but it's a great time for us to be able to get together. We don't get together an awful lot outside of this, so it's just kind of a nice time for us to get together and catch up. Other than that, we just we really enjoy the competition and enjoy being around the other guys. We learn an awful lot every time we're at one of these things about how to make our product better. And
how's it going? I'm Gary Raftery with Elwood Barbecue. Chuck Scott. Chuck with me also here today. And we're out here at the Valley Veterans Barbecue Contest and having a good time. It hasn't rained, so it's been a fantastic evening. And so far, we're getting ready to turn our stuff in. It's getting into that busy time of day. Barbecuing is something that just a hobby. We don't do it for fun. Once in a while, I'll cater for some friends, but that's about it. And so we're just out here to have a good time, hopefully put out some good food and see what happens from there.
Hi, I'm Gary Duntman. This is Dan Gockin, my partner in crime here we are Hoggens Heroes, so we know nothing basically about barbecue. Oh, I kind of do, but we're from Omaha, and basically what you see behind you here is we're just kind of backyard barbecuers. I got 3 homemade units, 2 barrel smokers, and 1 smoker made out of 2 air compressor tanks basically. So did those ourselves, and This is Dan's first time in any competition. This is my third. I've done 2 in Kansas City before, a different team down there, but really enjoy it, and this has been a good experience for both of us actually for this year competition. We plan to be here next year potentially. Thank you.
This is Juan's Naked Barbecue. That's Uncle Juan. He's doing the cooking, mostly grilling, and that's his assistant, my mom. And we had 2 competitions for cooking. This is our second one.
Okay. Why do you cook barbecue?
Because we mostly enjoy cooking it for people.
Hi, I'm with You Gonna Like It Barbecue, Steve and Jackie Richards. This is actually our first competition, but we've been judging for many, many years. So we decided to do this to get more into it. We're at the Valley Veterans Barbecue on June 1st, 2013. I don't know what else to say.
You gonna count this one towards your masters?
Oh yeah, actually I'll sign her book and she'll sign my book. So that's the way to do it.
We're When Pigs Die, Mike Jenny and Scott Nepper. Scott's my brother-in-law. We got started last year doing a backyard contest in July. And did our first KCBS in September last year. We'll probably do 7 or 8 contests this year. This is our 3rd one of the year. So hoping to get a top 10 today.
Hi, I'm Bob West with Tattoo Bob's Barbecue, and we started competing about 3 years ago, and mostly I started competing because of her. She introduced me to somebody that was big in the barbecue scene, and so we just kept practicing and kept doing it, and we got our name called a few times, and that's why we keep doing it, because when you get your name called, it makes it all worth it.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is our 4th competition for the year. We competed in the Platte River Challenge, which was 3 competitions out in central and western Nebraska. There's Kearney. We got Reserve Grant in Kearney. Then there was Gothenburg contest in North Platte, and we were in 5th and 9th place in those 2 contests. So we've been competing for, this will be our 4th year now, and we're planning on doing about 15 competitions this year. And we've been fairly successful. We're kind of up and coming, but we're hoping to have good things happen this year with Pork Patrol Barbecue.
All right, my name's Keith Wilbur. Back here is my friend Matt Frazier. We represent the team called Q-Men, and this is the 2nd year that we've competed. In fact, this is the 2nd annual Valley Veterans Barbecue. We started here last year. We actually took the People's Choice for the pork loin, and this is the 2nd competition that we've done together. We've actually been backyard barbecuing ourselves since 2006, and it's just sort of slowly progressed into where we are today. We have a great time out here. The reason we continue to come out here is because of all these people and the camaraderie that everybody within the barbecue community shares. So we're having a good time, and thanks for coming out.
Team Porgy Butts, Blaine Hunter here with Rod Neufeld. First event, Valley, Nebraska, with our stud sponsor, State Farm, Steve Phillips. Like I said, it's our first event. Oh, you look. Oh, 9 time clock. Pretty excited. Chicken's a challenge. We're hoping to get through that today, but otherwise everything's pretty good. I think we got some good flavors going, so hopefully we place.
Okay, we're 2 wild and crazy people, and the name of our team is KCAS BBQ, and that stands for Kansas City, Cass County, because we're from Pleasant Hill, Missouri. It's a great little town, very pleasant town, don't you think?
It's great. We got a soccer ball in our backyard that is the National Weather Service Doppler radar ball. We're real proud of that.
Yeah, nobody's interested in that. Anyway, we started out in 1987, and we got a team together. We are a team. They say, who's chief cook? We're both chief cooks. We're interchangeable. And we started getting into repping and teaching and all that stuff because we had 4 kids, and we couldn't afford the $50 entry fee back then. That was expensive back in '87. And so we started staying in barbecue because we just didn't have the money to enter all the time, although we still cook about 5 or 6 contests a year. And we love being in the judging area and making sure judges follow all the rules, because we're cookers first, and we want to make sure everybody's fair and square out there on the playing field, right?
That's the way it works. We want to make sure that that every contest that we run and represent for the Kansas City Barbecue Society is run the same way. Our strife in the Kansas City Barbecue Society is to maintain consistency across the country and make sure that a contest in Washington State is run the same way that a contest in Florida is run. So that's what we do. So.
Oh, okay. Rich. Wow, you're getting way back in history. Okay. I was approached by Carolyn Wells back in about 88, 89, I think it was. Yeah. And she wanted me to write an article what it was like being a rookie down at Memphis in May when I went down with the KC rib doctor. Rich and I went down there. And it was the first time we'd ever done anything like that. And we were on his team. So I came back and wrote an article, and she said, I really like your article. Would you like to help me at the KCBS office and help me with the bull sheet? That's our monthly newsletter. And I said, sure. And it was just a little flyer. We took it to what it is today. And I was the editor for 8 years, and I didn't get paid. I was a freebie. And then finally, Gary, bless his heart, gave me $5 an hour just to pay for a babysitter. And then I think I finally got $8 an hour. And then I had to go out and get a real job. So I quit because I had to go back to work. But I enjoyed being the editor. And then Rich served on the board. Do you remember?
I served on the board from 91 to 94. And
they didn't like him, so they didn't reelect him.
No, it was very enjoyable. I was a little instrumental in fighting for not accepting pellet cookers, but when I came on the board, we had about 400, and it went to about 800. Went to about 800 by the time I was off the board. So.
And then I served on the board from.
You served on the board from 96.
It was like 2009. I was on for 6 years. And then I didn't ever want to do that again. I really felt like I did a lot. I got it passed to where you had to be at least 16 years of age to judge. I got it passed where you had to cook with a team before you could be a master judge, because I always felt very strongly that if you didn't know what was going on out there, then you couldn't judge as well. And I really still feel that way. And gosh, where were we going to go from there? So a lot of changes. It went from a mom and pop business to big businesses because the organizers were getting bigger money, and it became very serious. So reps became more serious, representatives who ran the contest. They had a lot more responsibility, and we kind of felt for a while we were walking on eggshells, but we had to take our job seriously, and we still do. Because there is a lot of money out there. When I cook, I really feel that the reps should be fair and square and make sure everything's run correctly. And that's why when we train, we're on committees now. We're on the Certified Barbecue Judge Instructor Committee, and we're also on the Certified Barbecue Judge Committee for the representatives. Not the judge committee, the representative committee. And we want to make sure that the reps are all doing the same thing, and we kind of keep trying to make it better all the time. We're all fallible and we always have our problems, but I feel like this is the best organization with the most integrity that we can possibly put together. And we have, over 17,000 members now. We're the largest organization of its kind. And I'm really proud to be a part of this. Really proud. Aren't you?
Absolutely. Like you say, it's the best. It's the best organization, barbecue organization in the world. We still promote barbecue in every aspect. Our strife is to make barbecue the American cuisine, and our goal is to educate everyone as to what barbecue is all about, how to barbecue, how to judge barbecue, all aspects.
And a lot of people will come in and they'll say, hey, how can I be a representative for KCBS? Well, you got to remember, you don't get paid very much. You have to have the passion in your heart. You have to have the drive, and it's our life. I mean, this is a part of our life. It's kind of our mission field to go out there and spread a lot of joy to a lot of people and educate people, like Rich said. So, but we teach. And we're instructors for judges. We are table captain. Right there, he's the best table captain instructor ever. So I wouldn't put up with him. No, just kidding, table captains. But we really have a good time. But I think, yeah, and we're getting ready. We're writing a book right now. What do you do with leftover Q? Because when you have 4 kids and you spend all your money on barbecue for the week, then they get barbecue all week long. And we had to come up with different ideas because they got sick of barbecue. So we're writing a book right now. And we're also getting ready to start teaching classes. And people say, well, Bunny and Rich, you haven't won a lot of grand champions. Well, you know, we've been first place losers quite a bit. That means reserve grand. And we're going to get that grand one of these days. But we do know a lot about barbecue because we've been doing it forever. You know, we know a lot about barbecue, and we're going to start teaching. That's our goal. And we have a great barbecue sauce.
That's right, K-Cast barbecue sauce. Voted Tastemaster's choice at the International Barbecue Sauce Competition at the American Royal.
Artie Davis, Remus Powers, is the one who chose ours to be Tastemaster's choice. And if anybody wants to know any more about us, go to kcastbbq.com and see what idiots we really are by watching our little video. Wired Barbecue is the one who filmed it. Sorry. He did. And he did a great job. But I really love BBQTV. Okay?
Exactly.
Thank you so much. You guys are awesome.
My name is Mike Adair, and I'm with Pack 344 of the Cub Scouts. And we're invited here by our sponsor, the VFW, to have a pancake feed. The pancake feed is a fundraiser for these boys to go to camp this summer. So I don't know what to say. I'm sorry.
You made any money this morning?
We have served a lot of pancakes. The scouts are working really hard on cooking them, and we got a good crowd. So everybody's got a full belly, so we're all happy.
Hi, I'm Nina Cooney. I'm president of the Greater Omaha Barbecue Society. We're here in Valley, Nebraska. This is their 2nd annual contest for Valley, Nebraska. The Greater Omaha Barbecue Society is here promoting our event, and we're also selling raffle tickets that we're going to raffle away 2 awesome girls at our contest, our 21st annual State Barbecue Championship of Nebraska that will be in La Platte, Nebraska on August 16th and 17th. We invite you to come down to our contest, participate, cook, come as a visitor on Friday night, August 16th. Go to the GOBS website, www.gobs.org, and check us out. See you in August.
My name's Roger Fallon. I'm a commander of the Post 58 in Valley, Nebraska. I served in the Army in Vietnam from 65 to 66. The Valley Doug came to us and said he'd like to start a barbecue competition, and they'd like the veterans group to get into it so we could get the proceeds. So they've been going for 2 years. Last year was kind of, but this year probably double. I mean, they did a real good job, and we get the proceeds. We furnish ice to all the trailers and the drinks, and we help out where we can and everything, and it's really turning out good. And so we had a beautiful day yesterday, and sure thank Valley for doing this for the veterans. Yes, we have a monument we're going to start in the thing for all the service members, and all the money goes to the monument. We have something set up. The city's got to let us use part of their land up there, and we're going to put a nice monument, sell bricks and things to it, and we hope it works out good. We got a pretty good start on it.
I do solemnly swear
to objectively and subjectively evaluate each barbecue meat that's presented to my eyes, my nose, my hands, and my palate. I accept my my duty. I accept my duty. To be a Valley Veterans Barbecue Judge. To be a Valley Veterans Barbecue Judge. So that truth. So that truth. Justice. Justice. Excellence in barbecue. Excellence in barbecue. And the American way of life. And the American way of life. May be strengthened and preserved forever. May be strengthened and preserved forever. You are on your oath.
Number 5 was my favorite one, and I felt it was cooked correctly. It was tender, had a good flavor. And number 4 was not to my likings. It's just the taste wasn't there, and it was tough.
My favorite was number 5 as well. It had good moisture in it because most of our samples were pretty dry. That one still had some moisture in it and a good flavor. Tenderness was really close to on. My worst for me was number 2. It was cut very thin, I think because it was undercooked. It was very gray in appearance and it had very little flavor.
My favorite was number 1. I liked the taste of it. I agree number 2 was my least favorite. It just lacked the flavor and was dry.
Well, my favorite was number 1. I thought that it was cooked right, the texture was good, and the thing that I liked most about it was that you could still taste the beef flavor. It wasn't covered up by the smoke or by a sauce or anything like that. My least favorite was number 4. I thought it was very, very salty, and it seemed to me like they had tried to impart some flavor with the sauce, but that the meat wasn't very flavorful at all.
My favorite is number 3, and my least favorite was number 2, but they were all very different. When I looked at number 1, they gave me a burnt end, and honestly, it was raw in the middle. The next one, number 2, it was sliced thinly, very dry, tough. Number 3, it looked good from appearance standpoint. Number 4, it was a very large square piece of meat. Thank you.
I thought number 1 was probably my best one I liked. Number 2, I think they overcooked it and it tastes burnt to me. I thought number 3 was real too dry. Number 4 is just a big square of meat, and I'm not sure what they was trying to show me. Number 5 had a kind of a strange taste to it, and I didn't care much for it. And number 6, it was okay.
My favorite was number 6. It tasted really good, and it was very tender. Probably my least favorite was number 4, and it was probably a touch undercooked.
My least favorite was number 3 because it was undercooked, and my favorite was number 4 because I thought it was moist and tender throughout.
Okay. Yeah, my favorite was also number 4. The flavor was good. It wasn't overpowering, and it was cooked very well. My least favorite actually is a combination of 1, 3, and 5. They were way oversalted. And number 2 was way too almost grape jelly-ish sweet. And that was my thoughts.
My favorite's number 4. Cooked well, moist, had a nice sweet taste with a little kick of heat at the end. Spicy. The least favorite was probably number 3. Again, slightly undercooked. The skin kind of fell off when it's not supposed to, but other than that, a couple of the other entries, 1 and 2, too salty, and 4 had no taste.
Well, my least favorite obviously was number 3, was undercooked too on the leg. My favorite was number 6. I like the glaze on it. I like the taste, the tenderness. And number 5 was bland, I thought. And the number 4 was pretty good too. Number 1, number 2, just mediocre and average.
My favorite consistently at the table here has been number 4 as a good selection. I thought number 3 was undercooked as well. Number 2 had the topping that not only in appearance made it appear to be burnt during the appearance of the presentation, but it also left a very unsettling taste on it as well. What I did like is a little interesting kick in a couple of them, so that was interesting.
Okay. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, and number 5. And number 6. Number 6 was my choice. It had a nice smoke ring. I thought it had a nice texture, done kind of the way I'd like to have it to be. Number 1 was my least choice. It had a taste that I didn't care anything about, and I didn't like the way it was cooked.
I thought most of them were about the same grading as far as tenderness is, and a lot of the flavors I did like. The one I particularly didn't like is this one, and it was so salty I didn't want to even take a second bite.
Number 1 was my least favorite. I thought it was a little overcooked, and I didn't particularly like the seasoning that they used. And number 2 was my all-around favorite. Thought the presentation was excellent. The tenderness was great, and the flavor was exceptional.
I like the appearance of number 2 and the tenderness for the best. The flavor of number 6 I really enjoyed, and number 1 I didn't care for. There wasn't really any flavor.
My top choice was number 6. I like the taste, I like the tenderness. I found about 3 of these very similar. Number 4 and 5 I thought were pretty good. My least favorite was pretty close between number 1 and number 2, which I thought was overdone.
I would say number 5 was my favorite. It wasn't overdone with spices. It was tender. You could actually taste the meat and had great flavor. My least favorite would have been number 4. It seemed to be dry and just had a little bit of a taint to it.
Okay, number 5 was my favorite, and it was tender and it was tasty and it looked good. And my least favorite, which is always hard to say, but I think would be number 1, which I didn't like the taste. I thought it tasted chewy and fatty, and that's about it on that.
My favorite one was number 6. I thought it had a nice tangy type of rub. It was very tender. My least favorite was number 2. It was very tough and chewy.
My favorite was number 5. Especially I can taste cinnamon in the sauce, which adds a little heat without being too peppery. And the worst favorite was number 1, and my piece had a slight petrol, maybe lighter fluid taste to it.
My favorite was number 3. I just thought all around it was great. My least favorite would be a tie between number 1 and number 6. Number 1 had a lighter fluidy taste to it, and my number 6 pulled right off the bone.
My least favorite was number 1. It had a charcoal lighter fluid taste to it. My favorite was number 5. It had a nice fruity cinnamon taste to it.
My least favorite was number 6. Just seemed not done. It was really hard to chew. And my favorite was number 4. And it just had good flavor, and it was tasty.
Hi, my name is Troy Youngblood. I'm with Camo Cowboys Barbecue in Omaha, Nebraska. Recently had the experience of going down to the Moore, Oklahoma area to help the devastation relief efforts down there with myself, a couple other cook teams from Omaha and from Illinois. Met up with a group from OBR, which is Operation Barbecue. Duke was out of Albertsville, Alabama. He and his crew were down there. We met up with them at Dick's parking lot, which was an offshoot of the main area that was set up at Hillsdale College in just south of Moore. We were right 300 yards from where the devastation had hit. We spent 5 days down there and more in the parking lot. Very little sleep. We did everything from prepared meat to make the sides, to cleanups, to delivering actually to the families, volunteers, and also the first responders that were down there to help with relief efforts. Spent a lot of time actually in the devastated areas of Moore. We went from Interstate 44, 30 miles to the east of there. So it was a big span. We've seen a couple of schools that were damaged, thousands and thousands of houses. During our relief efforts, we spent a lot of time not only delivering food into these areas, but we were kind of like ambassadors for Operation Barbecue Relief. We went in, delivered food, talked to people, helped people with whatever they needed, spent time just consoling, giving hugs. It was definitely a mentally, physically, and emotionally draining time, but well worth it. I would definitely want anybody that wanted to do it to give it a try. It was a wonderful experience, something that I will never forget in my barbecue career forthcoming. OBR was started 2 years ago with the Joplin tornadoes. They've been to many disasters since. We took down hundreds and thousands of pounds of meat from Omaha. Had donations from the police department, friends, family. Strube Farms out of Texas gave us 3,500 pounds of meat to send down with us. We used pans, gloves, anything that you would use in barbecue we took down with us to help us get through those 5 days and then some. Vegetables from Sam's, everything. So we had a good time. Like I said, it was a long 5 days, but well worth it. And if anybody can, go to OBR website or Facebook page. You can still donate and take care of any devastations that are forthcoming. I know that some of the places we were over the last 5 days, Memorial Weekend was hit again last night, so anything you can do will help.
I'd mentioned to you that we went down to Moore, Oklahoma, to assist in the Operation Barbecue Relief. And there's a group of great barbecue enthusiasts, competition teams that were down there to help out with the tornado victims. And so we went down on Thursday, and we stayed down there for 5 days and helped prepare meals and deliver meals out to the residents, the victims that were impacted by the storm, and all the first responders and the volunteers that stepped up to the plate to help with that cause. And so it was quite a sight to see all the devastation, but it was also I was proud of the fact that we were able to go down and at least do something to help out with that horrible situation.